All right, team, we're going to build out our part 8 here. So let's get started here. We're going to sketch this out on our top plane. So we're going to select that top plane, and we're working with these two main circles to start. So a radius of 45 and a radius of 30. As we know, a radius is half of that circle, right? Or the radius is the measurement from the outside diameter to the inside of the circle. So when we're dimensioning this, this is diameter, so we're going to have to double that. So 45 times 2 is 90, and 30 times 2 would be 60, right? So now we have our 90 and our 60. Now we're going to drop these two lines here at 56. So let's start by grabbing our line tool, and we are going to start right here, dropping that first line. Now I want to just make sure this line is good, and you can start. If you see this right here, this is letting me know that line is vertical, which is what I really wanted. So I'm going to do this with my other line here, and I'm going to make sure that line is vertical as well. Then I'm going to come in here and take my lines and dimension them to 56. Alright, so now that I got my lines at 56, now I want to get them even. So I'm going to come from one to the other, and I just need 56 divided by 2, which is 28, and that will pull everything over. And just to confirm that these lines are parallel, I'm going to select both lines and click right here and make sure that they are parallel. So now I have everything black, fully dimensioned out. Now I'm going to trim it up to get this shape that I'm looking for here. So I'm going to trim this outside as well as this inside. And now I've got this shape that we're going for, and I'm going to accept that shape. So it's a height of 25 and 12. So I'm going to come here to my sketch 1. We're going to extrude, and I'm going to click on these outsides, and I just want to extrude the big main circle, and I'm going to accept that because that's a height of 25. Then I'm going to click on my sketch 1 again, extrude, and I'm going to extrude blind, and I'm going to take that to 12, and I'm going to have that be everything, right? So now I have my height of 25 and 12. Now I'm ready for my next sketch, and I'm going to start that on this top, and I'm going to draw that out, and I'm going to want that as circle, right? And I want it to be dimensioned out to 60, just like this other circle here. And now we're going to be working on this shape here. We got a radius of 15, and we know this is 90 degrees. So what we're going to do is grab another circle, center point circle, draw that out, dimension that to 30. Now when I'm working on anything like this, I like to give myself some crosshairs to work on. So I'm going to lock on right here and here, double click to end that line. Again on the side, click, double click, ending that line. So now I want to start by getting my my line going across. So I want that not to be for construction, and I want to try and lock that on and get it as close to the center as possible. Now I know that's not locked on the center here as I scroll in, because that line was like 59 and change, and I know it's got to be 60. So to lock that onto the center, I'm just going to use my dimension tool, and I'm going to click on the line, and I'm going to click on the center, and I want to make that 0. So now I've dimensioned that to 0 in the center, and I know that I want this line here is going to be at a 45-degree angle, which will ultimately, because I've got a line going here, so half of 90 is going to be 45. Now from here I'm going to trim. I want to take that and trim this second part of this line, and I'm going to trim that line all the way through, so I just have this line and I know that line is good. So I want to mirror that line, and I'm going to select my line to mirror, and then I'm going to mirror it over, which is perfect. Now I want to actually mirror everything again, and I'm going to pick this line as my mirror, and I'm going to select both of these lines. So now I have mirrored everything around. Now all I need to do is grab my trim tool, and I'm going to trim up this centerpiece here. So now I just have my extrude, and these are the pieces that I want. So I'm going to accept my sketch, and I'm going to come here to my sketch 2, and I'm going to remove, and I got to tell it what part I want to remove. So I got to switch those, and if we look here, we're going down 9. So I'm going to change this to 9, which will bring everything up. So now I just need to switch this. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to select these because I want to just switch everything, and I will accept that. So here is our part. All right, now we just need to set it to brass. Assign a material. You'll set your part to brass, and go check your mass and check that against what it says in the Schoology, and submit your part.